How much does a hit TV show make? You've seen the pretty faces, the dramatic twists, the gut-wrenching cliffhangers, and the hilarious jokes. You watch weekly, or you binge-watch for hours. In any case, unless you live under a rock without cable or Wi-Fi, you probably watch TV. But have you ever stopped to wonder, how much money do those hit TV shows really make? Well, I, Mr. Luxury, have in fact wondered that as well. And now, after this video, you can know what I know about how much a hit TV show really makes. In this video, in order to get some hard numbers, I'll be focusing on a specific show, so there's nothing left to the imagination. So, let's get into how much money the show The Big Bang Theory makes. The Big Bang Theory is a CBS situational comedy created by Chuck Lorre and Bill Prady that stars Jim Parsons, Kaylee Cuoco, Johnny Galecki, Simon Helberg, and Kunal Nayyar. The show centers around a group of friends, most of them nerdy individuals, and one hot neighbor from across the hall. The show is the biggest sitcom since Friends, and it's made a whole lot of cash. But how much cash are we actually talking? Before we start, I'm a bit curious. What's your favorite TV show? Let me know in the comment section below. Personally, I'm a Twin Peaks kind of guy. What can I say? Well, starting in Season 9, mind you, the show is on its 12th season, but starting in Season 9, each of the 5 leading stars made $1 million an episode. Combined, for one season, the co-stars make $131 million. The reason for this massive payday are both in part due to the show's success live and the success it's had in syndication. Syndication is just when another channel airs reruns of the show. And Big Bang is surely a cash cow when it comes to syndication. As a half-hour general audience sitcom, the show is light and easy to squeeze into spots on a TV schedule that need content. In this case, TBS paid CBS and the production company Warner Brothers for the rights to air reruns of the show. And they sure do get their money's worth, because they air the show practically every day for multiple episodes. TBS also paid a pretty penny to be the sole syndicate of The Big Bang Theory. So, anytime someone wants their Big Bang fix when it's not airing live on CBS, they'll just have to hop over to TBS. It's important to note that the show is still producing new episodes. Once the show goes off-air, the floodgates for syndication will open, and more channels and streaming services will have the rights to air reruns of the show. Which means even more money for the actors. The 6 leading actors on Friends still make $22 million every year from reruns of their hit show, just for some perspective. From TBS purchasing rights to show reruns and international stations following suit, Warner Brothers has made over $1 billion. But TBS hasn't taken a hit from the purchase. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Because of the show's massive popularity, not only does TBS make money from ad revenue, but the show leads into the TBS original talk show, Full Frontal, with Samantha Bee, and gains countless viewers that otherwise might not have turned to TBS for entertainment. TBS can also advertise any of their original shows in the commercial breaks during the show to gain more viewers, thanks to the CBS original. CBS uses the same strategy by air the break-off show, Young Sheldon, immediately after The Big Bang Theory. But the money doesn't stop there. Ad revenue is an entirely different beast. The Big Bang Theory in particular has a wide range of audiences. So there's an endless line of advertisers that will pay boatloads just to get an ad on a live episode. In 2015 alone, the show generated $1.74 billion just from advertisement dollars. For extremely popular shows, a 30-second commercial spot can pay the show around $300,000. Keep in mind, The Big Bang Theory is a 30-minute sitcom, so all of this ad money is from no more than 10 minutes of commercials an episode. Take an hour-long drama, like Breaking Bad for instance. In Breaking Bad's last episode, the show ran an hour and a half with 24 minutes of commercials. In those 24 minutes, the show and AMC, the channel the show aired, were paid around $8 million. Breaking Bad was purchased just a couple of years later by Netflix for an upfront price of $100 million. Big Bang Theory hasn't even been sold to a streaming service, but it is without a doubt inevitable. So the answer to the question, how much money does Big Bang Theory make, is For the actors, $25 million a year. And for years to come, for Warner Brothers, literally billions of dollars. For CBS, billions. For TBS, somewhat hard to calculate, but let's just say hundreds of millions. And yes, Big Bang Theory is the pinnacle of hit TV shows at the moment. So it's not a perfect example for the average hit TV show, as its success has only been precedented by other sitcoms like Friends and Seinfeld. But it gives you an idea of the opportunity these shows can make. Dramas that air for twice as long can make twice as much from ad revenue, and similar numbers in all of the other categories. The elephant in the room, however, is that Big Bang Theory is the last of its kind in some respects. As I mentioned before, Big Bang is not available for stream. Well, it's not legally available for stream. The success of this show came just before the massive wave of television streaming services like Netflix and Hulu. Now, with streaming, it's even cheaper for shows to put their pilot episode out there. This means there's even more competition and content out there for production companies to pick up. So, while the access to these shows has dramatically increased, the task of getting a hit show to stick and gain a massive audience is as hard as ever. That last episode of Breaking Bad had 10 million live viewers. Realistically, that will never happen again for a weekly TV series. These days, the biggest shows are on platforms like Netflix, where viewers come at times of their own choosing. And rather than watching advertisements, they just pay a monthly fee. Or even more likely, use the subscription from their ex-girlfriend that left her account on their laptop. With this lack of ad revenue, actors and production companies are being paid less, all while the competition is getting stiffer. At this point, it starts to turn into a complicated mix of numbers and stats, but for us viewers, it really just brings us better television. With more competition and more content being produced, the selection of solid TV shows to watch is as good as it's ever been. And good television was never specific to cable. Besides Planet Earth, shout out to my main man David Attenborough. Band of Brothers and Game of Thrones are the highest rated TV shows according to IMDb. These shows air on HBO, and streaming services like Netflix and Hulu have solidified themselves as legitimate creators of original TV shows and have even just recently ventured into movies. It's certainly a new age of television. The big difference between cable and these platforms is the advertisements. That's also the biggest difference in terms of money garnered by the shows. And while all of us are huge fans of no commercials, Netflix has alluded to adding commercials to their programs. I believe the words they chose were short video promos between episodes, but don't be confused. Yes, those are called commercials, Netflix. Unfortunately, the installment on commercials is inevitable. If Netflix determines it will make more money with them than without them, then the company will go for them. And if a show like Breaking Bad and Big Bang Theory made over $1 billion in a calendar year from commercials, can you really blame them? The cost of shooting these hit TV shows has to go into the equation if you want an accurate representation of how much the show really makes. In the latter years of Breaking Bad, each show cost around $3 million to produce. But with a show like Big Bang, unburdened by explosions and gunshots, and half the length, the show is closer to the $300,000 mark. So, while Breaking Bad has a lot of ground to cover to break even, Big Bang Theory can do it in about a minute or two of commercials. But the investment for these hit TV shows is more than worth it, as I'm sure you've already figured out. Some of the external revenue sources from these shows is from merchandise, and I'm sure you've seen a Bazinga or a Heisenberg t-shirt, or maybe you own one yourself. Along with merch, there's the possibility of a spin-off show. In the case of Big Bang, there's young Sheldon, and for Breaking Bad, the spin-off show Better Call Saul was created. Walking Dead, another AMC show, has a spin-off show, Fear the Walking Dead, and even a talk show after The Walking Dead, promptly named The Talking Dead. Along with these two shows, the creators of the show are making a movie starring Andrew Lincoln, who plays Rick Grimes, the main character in the Walking Dead series. So as you can see, there's really no limit to how much money these shows can make. I, for one, will be keeping up with my favorite TV shows. In fact, that reminds me, I need to catch up on Game of Thrones. So I think I'll stop this video right here. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Pip pip, de doodly doo.